Nintendo Switch eShop sales, you love them, I love them, and Nintendo has just kicked off their New Year's sale, even though we're like 15 days into the year, but hey, better late than never. So in today's video, we're going to talk about what games are on sale and what games I recommend checking out. What's going on, guys? I'm RGT85. I'm very excited because I just got this string that was like stuck in the hole, so like this was drooping down way too far. It's an exciting day here at RGT headquarters. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But without any further ado, let's talk about what games are on sale on the Nintendo Switch eShop right now. So all of these games are on sale as of January 15th. If you missed out on these sales, you should have had your notifications turned on, and you should be subscribed to the channel because I make videos like these pretty often. But the way we're going to do this video is a little bit different. We're going to go from the high-priced items to the low-priced items. So if you're a big baller, you're going to be looking out for the first few games I talk about, and will subsequently go down in price. Kicking things off, we have a lot of first-party Nintendo games on sale, which is something you really don't see all that much. The first game we're going to talk about is Super Mario Maker 2, available for $41.99. Now this to me is the quintessential 2D Mario game. Honestly, if Nintendo never made another 2D Mario game, I think I would be okay with it as long as they kept the Super Mario Maker series around, because you can really do everything you want to do in these games. Of course, there's been subsequent updates that have added in some more stuff into these games. Yeah, some of the levels are just absolutely ridiculous, and it's like, I don't like super hard levels. I want to play a Mario style game that's actually a Mario style game where you progress through the game and it gets progressively more difficult and things of that nature. But I think Super Mario Maker 2 is a super fun game, especially if you're a fan of 2D Mario games, and right now it's on sale for just $41.99. Sort of a hidden gem in the Nintendo Switch's first-party lineup is Yoshi's Crafted World, which is also available for $41.99. Now, on the surface, this seems like a pretty easy Yoshi game. It's a 2D platformer that, of course, does have some 2.5D elements where you go into the background and do things, but things get very interesting once you complete a level initially, because then you could go back and discover secrets within the level, and that's where the game's difficulty actually sort of ramps up quite a bit. I'm not saying it's a super difficult game or anything like that, but it definitely offers more of a challenge than a lot of other 2D platformers that we've seen Nintendo release on the Nintendo Switch, such as Kirby Star Allies. I really love the graphical style of this game. I think it's very cute and charming. The music is okay. It's just really one song that's just sort of looped throughout the game, but they sort of switch it up in the different worlds that you're in. Just a very enjoyable game, and the fact that there is that additional difficulty if you want to go back and check things out within a level, I think really adds a lot of replay value to the game. Yoshi's Crafted World is available for $41.99, and I definitely recommend it. Next up, we have one of my favorite games from Nintendo in the last decade, and you know, a lot of people sleep on this game and I can understand why, but it's Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, available for $27.99. Now, I played this game on the Wii U. I absolutely loved it. I purchased it once again on the Nintendo Switch, and I absolutely loved it. They, of course, have added in some Super Mario Odyssey inspired levels into the Nintendo Switch version of the game, which I think is really fun because Super Mario Odyssey is great, but it's a really fun puzzle game that you could just sort of pick up and play at your own leisure. The thing I really love about Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, though, is the presentation. I think it looks great, and that theme song is just absolutely awesome. It's so obnoxious and over the top. Like, I wish I had housemates when this game came out, because after a long night of partying, I would just like kick in a door for them and play this song in order to wake them up. I think it would have been so hilarious because it's just so over the top and so obnoxious. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, though, is definitely a game I super enjoy. I might actually play it again after finishing this video because I'm kind of craving that isometric puzzle style gameplay. It's available for $27.99, and if you don't own it, go ahead and buy it. And the final first-party game that's on sale for the Nintendo Switch right now is Clubhouse Games, 51 worldwide classics, even though it's technically 52 games, for $27.99. Now, this is a compilation of mini games, and really, it's a fun time. This is something you could play with your friends who maybe don't play video games, your family members, your grandma. You want to play some cards with your grandma, you could play with her on this compilation of games. It has online play as well, just a really solid game. And the fact that there's so much variety in the terms of games, from card-based games to dice games to even just more traditional mini games like a Wii bowling sort of style game, I think it really has a lot of replay value. It's something that you don't have to sit and invest a lot of time into. You can play it for a few minutes, have a lot of fun, and then come back to it at your leisure. Clubhouse Games, 51 worldwide classics, which is technically 52, why can't they name it right, is available on sale on the Nintendo Switch for just $27.99. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have Doom, which I believe is the cheapest it's ever been on the Nintendo Switch eShop for just $23.99. Now, I love Doom Eternal, but I hate Doom Eternal's online play. And I think because of the sort of weird online play that they did with Doom Eternal, that Doom is the superior and best first-person shooter on the Nintendo Switch. It's fast, it's frantic, it looks good. The online multiplayer is still active and still a lot of fun, and it's a more traditional online multiplayer. It's very fluid when you're playing the game. The music, the visuals are all top-notch. They've done subsequent patches to the original release of the game to improve the visuals in handheld mode and in docked mode. Has an absolutely rocking soundtrack as well. One of the best soundtracks in video game history. Just an absolutely fantastic game. One of the best first-person shooters of all time, in my opinion, and it will be a timeless classic. This is a game that 10 years from now, people will look at and be like, damn, Doom was really good. Doom is available for $23.99, and I recommend you check it out. Next up might be the most controversial game on this list. It came out and it got kind of mediocre reviews, but I think that's sort of because of the price point of the game, and that is The Sinking City. Now, when this game initially came out, it was $50. Now it's on sale for $12.49, and I think at $12.49, it's a really good value if you like these styles of gameplay. It has that H.P. Lovecraft sort of theme going on with it, where you visit a weird place in Massachusetts and weird things are happening, but I like the sort of puzzle slash combat based gameplay that this game offers, and all the different things you have to discover in this large city where things are quickly getting out of control. You're solving murder mysteries, you're trying to figure out why this town is in absolute peril, and I think it's a solid game. There are some performance issues. The graphics aren't really top notch for the Nintendo Switch, but I think at $12.49, if you like these styles of games, you've played games like Call of Cthulhu, and you enjoyed the sort of cinematics and the story that you got within those games, you're going to like The Sinking City, and at $12.49, I definitely think it's worth picking up. Raiden 5 Director's Cut is on sale for $8.99, and if you're a fan of vertical shoot 'em ups, you should probably already own this game. I picked this game up when it first came out at full price, a physical version of the game, and I absolutely love it. It's very fast, it's very fun, the music is good, the visuals are solid, there's online leaderboards, it pretty much has everything a vertical shooter should have, and it's not maybe the best vertical shooter of all time or anything like that, but it's definitely a very solid experience. And considering the fact that it's just $8.99, you definitely should pick it up if you're a fan of this style of games. I've talked about this game a million times on the channel, but I will mention it very briefly. Ghostbusters, the video game remastered, is available for $7.49. If you do not own this game, there's something wrong with you. You either hate Ghostbusters or you hate good games. And if that's the case, then I completely understand. But otherwise, you need to buy this game. It's essentially the third Ghostbusters movie. It looks great. It plays great. It's just super, super fun. And I just absolutely love this game. It's something that you can play a couple times a year and still enjoy the story because it really plays out like a movie. It has all of the voice actors returning from the original films as well. A fantastic game from top to bottom, looks great and runs great on the Nintendo Switch, and is highly recommended at just $7.49. If you're a fan of arcade-style racing games, Horizon Chase Turbo is available on sale right now for just $4.99, and that is an absolute steal. If you're a fan of games like classic outrun games, you're definitely going to love Horizon Chase Turbo. It has sort of that 80s aesthetic and 80s vibe to it when it comes to the visuals. The game runs at a silky smooth 60 frames per second. The racing is very fast and frantic. There's a kind of different cars to unlock as well. The soundtrack is really well done. Everything about this game is very, very high quality. And to see this game available for just $4.99, if you enjoy fast-paced arcade-style racing games, you definitely need to add this game to your collection. Horizon Chase Turbo, definitely highly recommended by me. The Castlevania and the Contra collections are available for just $4.99 a piece, and these are great values. Like, come on, people, you got some of the best games of all time here. Looking at the Castlevania games, you have Castlevania 1 through 3, you have Kid Dracula, you have Super Castlevania 4. These are timeless games that are absolutely fun to play, and just so many nice little additions, such as being able to do save states for the more difficult parts of the game, and some history of the games. Looking at the Contra stuff, you have the classic Contra games as well, including the games that came out on the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. Once again, a fantastic compilation of games, and considering you can get both of these compilations for just $10, definitely the biggest steal I feel on this Nintendo Switch eShop sale video. You're getting a ton of great games that look great and play great on your system, and it's really, really cheap. Next up is a game that it's not a good game. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say this is a good game, but it's something that you need to buy and you need to experience just to see how crazy the 90s were. And that is Double Switch, which is currently on sale for just $2.99. Now, if you played a game like Night Trap, you pretty much know what to expect with Double Switch, but I would say the story in Double Switch, if you could call it a story, is even more bizarre than Night Trap was. You're still doing the whole trapping mechanic, you're still doing the whole different cameras and having to be at the right place at the right time, but it's just so bizarre, and it's something that you'll never see in video games again. The whole full motion video where you have the multiple cameras trying to trap weird people that are doing bad things, and I think it's definitely a piece of video game history. It might not be as iconic as Night Trap was because of the fact that it didn't involve like teenage girls, and I guess that was like a big controversial point, but I still think Double Switch has a lot of weird 90s humor and a weird 90s aesthetic that a lot of people will enjoy. At just $2.99, I mean, come on, that's like a Burger King meal. And the final game we're going to highlight is a game that I have actually not played, and this is a game that I will be picking up, as I like to single out a game that I've been interested in but just haven't picked up yet on the Nintendo Switch eShop, and that is the Next Penelope, which is available for just $2 right now. Now, everything I've seen from this game sort of gives me like F-Zero but shoot 'em up vibes, where you get different weapons from your enemies and bosses that you defeat while playing the game, and it sort of has a top-down aesthetic where you're also doing racing. It seems like it has a pretty deep story for this style of game as well, but I really like the visuals and the music that everything in this game seems to be offering, and I think it's probably a game that I'm going to enjoy, but like I said, I just never got around to playing it. I know there was a lot of fanfare when this game was announced and released for the Nintendo Switch, so I'm definitely looking forward to jumping into this game. The Next Penelope is available for just $2, and I mean, come on, man, that's like super cheap. You might as well check it out. Alright, so that is just a handful of games that are on sale on the Nintendo Switch eShop right now. Really, there's a bunch more stuff on there. There's a bunch of Capcom games. There's actually more first-party games such as Splatoon 2 and ARMS available for $41.99, along with Kirby Star Allies. I've talked about those games before. I feel like everyone that's going to buy Splatoon 2 has already bought Splatoon 2. ARMS, I just didn't really like, but definitely go check out the list of games that are on sale on the Switch eShop right now. There's over 1,000 games, but these are just the games that I wanted to highlight because I thought they would be interesting for you. So let me know in the comments section down below if you plan on picking up any of these games, or what games you recommend that I pick up that are currently on sale right now, because yes, I do read the comments and I like to see what you guys have to say. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on the channel as well, and as always, I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.